L Fox.
Like in the rim
All
of the
right,
view.
we'll go ahead and we'll get this bad
That's
started. All right,
crazy.
so everybody, welcome back to
Alright, let's go see it.
BFM Basics once again.
My first
So
time
some of
here.
you, some of you
Yo,
were
Shane,
you've been to these ones before. A couple of the last ones we've talked about, like basic terminology and the general purpose of the util, right? But one thing that I've noticed a lot of is that people tend to overthink both of those things, right? Like they throw all these things at you, like, oh, there's so many variables you need to keep, account for, right? Like, aspect, range, closure, all these things, right? And they get a little overwhelmed, trying to remember all these things, and it affects your decision making, right? It affects your ability to process through that. So today we're gonna make that just a little bit more simple, right? We're gonna show you, just throw you through a couple examples. Be like, hey, man, if you're looking at one thing, it means that this, like, you can recognize one variable and then automatically know the rest of them, right? Just to kind of ease the load off from you really quick, right? So we'll go over a quick review, right, of some of these things, right? Well, range, aspect, and closure. Like those are the three basic things that you're always trying to manipulate or manage in a dogfight, right? So who can tell me what aspect is first things first, right? First things first. What's aspect? Who knows off the top of their head? Or thinks
The difference between you and your opponent's heading.
Kind of, right? Not necessarily wrong. But that's not. We're not really measuring heading, right? Like heading is affected, but that's not quite what we're measuring when we're talking about aspect. Regiment, what do you think it is?
I feel like it's like the visual range from like this range.
Range. I mean, it affects range. It affects range, but that's not quite it either. Jinglu, what about you?
You're like, why is this speed like at the bottom is 350 and the top is 300? Is it like reversed?
They're typing it out right now. The direction of.
Hello.
Oh no.
Hey, goodbye.
Working on a weekend.
Okay, yeah. Direction of your plane compared to your opponent's. Yeah. For the most part. Ideally, or at least more specifically, like when we're talking about aspect, we're talking about the difference between nose position. Right.
Yeah, think about it every time.
So like if we got this plane right here, say he's flying this way, right?
Hello, optics.
Hello,
and we got this plane right here.
Hi, Benjamin.
Right. There we go. Right, and they're both pointing at each other just like this. It's like, yeah, their direction's different, but we're mainly looking at, like, we're looking at the difference in their noses, right? So when they're nose to nose like this, are they a high aspect or low aspect to each other? Anybody? Troy, what about you? What do you think? What do you think, Troy?
I saw you getting Sonoda and F1 short. Is he driving again?
Are they at high or are they at low?
He's driving today.
Oh, tonight? Or...
Not sure.
Yeah,
Okay. No, that's okay. That's low aspect. Risen. What do you think?
Oh, 23rd.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was just too excited. I was gonna say they were on high aspect because they're both turning. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Let me see. I think they're on a higher aspect because they're turning into each other. Like.
Yeah. Right. Okay. No, it is high aspect, right? High aspect, nose to nose. When we're talking about aspect, right? If you're gonna use it in, degrees, right? The further you get to the nose, right, the higher it gets, right? So the nose, you're at 180, whereas over here at the tail, you're at 0, right? And anywhere in between, right? So that's just one of the things that you need to, that you're trying to manage at the same time. Now, range. What's range? Like, just looking at this, what is range? Anybody? LT Cooper. Or
the distance between both aircraft.
Yeah, that's all it is. Distance between both aircraft, right? And now what about closure? Optics, what's closure?
How fast you're closing in on your opponent.
Yeah, exactly. Like the rate at which you're closing distance between you and your opponent, right? So like if I'm sitting here, like, this guy, we went from high aspect, now we're low aspect, right? And we'll say like, I don't know, this guy, he's getting chased down by the red plane, right? And he's going 500 knots. Maybe this guy's going 480. What's their rate of closure?
Like a 20% rate? Are you talking about
20%?
percentile or like
No, not percentile, just speed, right? So this guy, he's flying away at 500 knots. This guy's chasing him down, but he's only at 480. Is there any closure at all?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's no closure at all. There's none, right? These questions aren't trick questions. It's like now reverse it, right? What if he's going 500 and this guy's going 480?
Oh,
Like,
like,
I mean, he's closing in. It's just a little bit slow, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, how about now? We'll say those speeds are the same relatively, right? This guy, we'll change it up. This guy's going 400 knots, and the red guy, he's going 500. What's your closure now?
High.
You're not wrong. Yeah, no, 900,
Okay.
900, exactly. You're adding both, right? Because they're both going towards each other, right? That's how, your aspect, that's how aspect's going to affect your closure, right? So that's our review, those three basic things that you're always trying to, manage in a dogfight. But how can you simplify it, right? Because, we'll go over some other variables real quick. There's range, aspect, and closure, right? Those are three things that we talked about that you're always trying to manage in a fight. What are some other variables in a fight, that people could be scatterbraining and thinking about, in a fight that could maybe be wasting some of their time? Optics, can you name one?
Direction. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Lift vector placement.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That is absolutely lift vector placement, right? Even in a rate fight, even in a rolling scissors, especially in a rolling scissors, in a flat scissor, lift vector placement is always a big one, right? That is it's a very good variable.
This one's asking about lift vector placement.
Lift vector placement. Okay, are you a different mochi than I'm used to?
It's a new mochi.
Same mochi. What, brother?
Okay. You should know what lift vector placement
You should know what lift vector placement is.
You should. You should know.
If you know a different. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, we'll go over that.
Okay.
All right, a very simplified.
We didn't make a mistake.
Lift vector, right?
That's all. No.
So, like your lift vector, like it simply is pretty much the top of your plane, right? Whatever direction that the lift you're producing naturally wants to push in. When you produce lift, where does lift want to take you? Right, you're producing lift up, exactly. Right, it's naturally like go up. Now, when we turn in the air, what do you have to do to turn a direction in the air? Right, we're not on the ground. We can't just we can't just rudder to turn. Right, we can't just pivot our nose left and right. You must alter the what? The aerodynamic. With elevators and aileron. Okay, that's a very complicated way of just saying you need to roll the aircraft. Right? Yeah, you have to roll in the direction that you want to turn when you're in the air, right? And then you have to pull up, right? That's what your lift vector is. Like, imagine a line that goes straight up from your aircraft, right? Straight up from your aircraft, and it always points up. Right? Wherever that line is pointing, wherever the top of your aircraft is pointing and you're turning, that's exactly where it's going to go. Right? So just like optics said, your lift vector placement, being one of your variables, if you're going into your pursuit curves, right, if you've got that lift vector pointed behind your enemy's aircraft, you're trying to go behind them. Whereas if you're pointing it at them in pure, you're trying to fly to them. And if you've got it out front and lead, then you're flying in front of them. Right? That's what your lift vector is. That makes sense? It's an explanation that made sense to you? Yeah? All right. So lift vector, right? That is one other variable. Risen, you've been super eager. Can you name another variable that we're always looking at in a fight?
for me at least, direction. I always get disorientation from that whenever I'm trying to look
Direction?
for my enemy.
Oh,
Yeah, trying to look for my enemy and stuff, like placing sight on my enemy. That's very disorienting.
Okay,
for
no,
me sometimes.
establishing a line of sight. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is 100%. That's also a very good variable as well. Troy? Can you name one? Another variable, right? We've mentioned lift vector, our line of sight. What else? All right, they're typing. I think they're typing. Also, if you can't think of one, don't stress over it, right? That's what this stuff is for, right? I'm not here to pressure you into being like, oh, this guy doesn't know anything, right? Like, no, that's not what I'm here to do. Okay, we'll come back. We will come back. Sonny, what about you? Can you name another variable in a dogfight other than range aspect closure? Planning? I mean, sure. Going through your OODA loop.
Another term of thinking ahead, something like that.
Thinking ahead. All right. I mean, I would say that like that. I would say that's more something that you do based on your variables that you've got. Right. I mean, it has a place in there, but I'm talking like information that you're collecting from another aircraft. Copper, what about you?
Hello.
Visual.
Your altitude.
He
I
says
guess.
hello.
Altitude. Okay.
What?
Yeah. And this actually
I
delves
say
into what I was looking for right now. Energy potential, right?
You can't
Altitude
remember.
is potential energy
you go.
stored.
Oh,
Right.
I'm doing fine.
So yeah, no, your altitude can be one.
That's good.
Lead and turn rate, pursuit curves. Okay,
have
no,
to speak for
pursuit curves 100%. Right,
I
that is
see,
another
I
good
see.
one.
That part.
Is there?
All right, so
Sorry.
Copper just said altitude, right? Energy potential or potential energy.
Yeah, my mic is a piece of
What's another form of energy that we might take into account in a fight? Yeah, and that is in the form of what? Airspeed, exactly, right? Like all these things, like there's multiple different variables other than just your range, your aspect, and closure that you're counting in for, right? So your lift vector placement, energy states, differences in energy states, right? Establishing a line of sight, and even just like stressing out over trying to make the right choice in the moment, right? Like these are all things that can take away from your ability to react correctly in the fight, right? And at least in a timely manner. So today, like hopefully we can simplify that just a little bit, right? So I'm gonna make this a little bit more interactive than normal, right? I'm gonna take one of these planes. I'm gonna go down the line with everybody here, right? I'm gonna set one of these planes up, and just sitting and facing forward in this chair, like like with you guys just sitting and facing forward. Just imagine you're in the cockpit of a plane, and when you're looking at these aircraft, like take a look at like one thing. Mention one thing you see from it. And we can talk about all the other information you can get just by recognizing one single variable, right? So I'm gonna start over here with Jing Lu and work my way down the line, and then we'll get into the back row as well, right? So Jing Lu, right there, you're sitting in your aircraft, right? You're facing forward. All right, we're gonna take our plane up here. Oh, geez, I didn't want to type. What am I doing? All right, we'll say right up here, right? I'll try to tailor this, to be kind of like VR chat's ranges, right? Okay, boom. Say they're here, right? Because I know you see very big silhouettes VR chat, right? Because things typically are a lot closer. Okay, we'll say this is it right here, right? You're in the F-14 world. I'll try to relate this to worlds you guys have been mostly in, right? So sitting right here, this is you. You're facing forward. Your plane, like the nose of your plane, is directly off your chair, right? There's your opponent. What is one thing, one variable of information you get when you look up at that plane, right? You're in a fight. Just one. Higher altitude. A little bit of exclusive turning room. Okay. Well, you know what? I would agree, but right? I would agree if he was turning the other way, but look at where the top of his plane is. Where's his lift vector pointing right now? Yeah, it's on you, right? I guess he isn't pure, right? But where is the top of his plane pointing? His lift vector, not his nose, his lift vector. There's a big vertical stabilizer on this plane that tells you exactly where the top of it is. Right here. Yeah, it's kind of pointing this way, isn't it?
Just like imagine like
Angled down. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so he's a little bit higher, right? His lift vector's angled down. So are we going to be able to take advantage of that exclusive turning room if you're on the deck, right? This is assuming you're on the deck. Not really, right? Okay, cool. What about his aspect? Are we high or are we low? High? Yeah, no, I'd agree. If you're like this, right? If this is the direction that the nose of your plane is pointing and his plane is almost pointing at yours, I'd say we're at high aspect, right? Which also means what? Like, again, planes have to fly forward, in order to stay in the air, right? So if his nose is pointing at you, his nose is on the forward part of the plane, and your nose is pointing in the same direction, you're both at high aspect, is he going to, like, what's our closure like? Yeah, it's pretty quick, right? And he's pretty close, right? Like if you were in the F-14 world, right, and you saw that, right? That he's pretty close, isn't he? Right? He's pretty much on top of you. So you're at high closure, low range, and very high very high closure, very high aspect, very close range. Right? What are a couple options you can think of? We'll say you know what? I'm not going to throw out a hypothetical energy state at you because I mean we're already on the ground. We'll just say you're at rate speed or whatever, right? What can you do in this situation? What do you think you can do in this situation? Right? You're pretty much nose to nose. Honestly, force. Oh, go into the one. Honestly, not a bad. It's not a bad choice. Correct answer is it's like at this point, right? You're pretty much merging with the guy, right, or girl, or whoever's flying this plane, right? You can do anything you want in this situation because you've got the range, you've got the closure, you've got the range, and you've got the high aspect. You're pretty much merging with the person, right? So yeah. Now, what one piece of information do you think, or what one variable that you recognize tells you the most amount of information about what's going on in this fight?
They're in a plane.
Is lift vector?
Sorry.
Yeah. Lift vector placement. I would also argue aspect, right? His aspect, right? Because if my nose, at least this is the way that I think of it, right? If my nose is pointing at the guy and his is also pointing at me, I know we're going to overshoot each other. We're going to merge. My options are now pretty much unlimited. Like I can go into any fight that I want.
Sit down.
Right. If I see that he's nose to nose, I know my range is about to close down, and I see him this close. I know my range is close. We're about to overshoot, right? And going off of where his lift vector's placing, that's what's going to influence my choices as well, right? So in this case, I would argue your aspect. Definitely lift vector placement, right? Like if you had to choose two, I would say aspect and lift vector placement 100%. But in this case, like I'm looking at aspect and I'm getting all that other information from the guy. Make sense? All right. Here, we'll go down to the next one. Troy, you're up next. All right. Don't be nervous now. All right. You're fighting again. This is your guy, just like before. Just like I said with Jing Lu. you sitting forward right now, like you're in a plane. You're in the plane. Right? And we'll say right here. Right there. All right. So you're in your plane, right? This is where your nose is pointing. This is where this guy's turning, right? So what is one of the first things you recognize when you look at this plane? What's it? Name one variable. I can't see if they're typing. Oh, okay, now they're typing. Good.
Yeah, TP typing.
Are you good? Okay. Are you saying there's no big variable that you're recognizing at the moment? Okay, no, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Let's go over real quick here. I'll give you a quick little visual aid for this guy, right? Just for his lift vector placement, right? I know that with these solid colors, it can sometimes be pretty difficult to recognize, right? So his lift vector, there we go. Let me grab this eraser. Yeah, I'd say right about like that. Boom. It might be just a little bit lower or a little bit higher than that, but it's close enough, right? So very first thing, right? This silhouette. Do you have a pretty big silhouette that you're looking at, right? Like if you were in a plane and there's another plane you're fighting and he's this close, does he look pretty big? Like you can see a lot of his plane, right? Almost like it's up in your face, right? So if you got a big silhouette like this, very first thing I'm cueing in on, one, our range is already very, very close, right? We're very close in range. Number two, right? Again, your nose is pointing right here. I'm looking at this. Do you see more of the top of their plane? Like, do you see a big wide silhouette? Do you see a thinner silhouette? What do you see? Just say wide or slim. Thinner? Are you sure? So I'm looking at this right here, right? I can see both wings. You can see the top. See a lot of it, right? His nose is pointing at you just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, but that's pretty wide, right? So let's say we're at pretty medium aspect, give or take, right? And you got to remember too, right? Like this is you sitting in the plane, so your nose is already pointing this way, right? You're already pretty offensive on the guy. Like you're not sitting behind them, but you're pretty offensive, right? You just imagine you're kind of in a turn. You're in a turn with this guy, right? Like you've almost got your nose on him, right? So we're at high aspect. He's at medium aspect. And we're pretty close to each other, right? Right. His flight path is probably going to look a little something like this, right? Just a little something like this. So if you're chasing this guy down, right? You see his flight path. You got him on the nose right now, but you know he's about to pass. He's about to pass off to your right. What does this tell you about what's going on in this fight? Or what do you think is going on in this fight? As far as alignment goes, that's another variable we didn't even mention before, is geometry alignment. Right. We'll assume for this. I'll give you another line to use, right? Because this is where the nose of your plane is, right? That you're coming this way. Oh, geez. Right. There's your flight path, like at least that you're about to follow. It's like right here, right? If you're following your nose, you're going to cut it into this guy's flight path at some point, right? And right here we meet. There's a little gap between our circles, right? This is called an offset, right? Offset. We're in a rate fight right now. Offset is when your planes of motion aren't quite aligned or they're not overlapped with one another, right? Is this all making sense to you? You nod your head if yes, and shake if no. I know. I think this is probably one of. I think this is one of your first ones that you've been here for. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. No worries. No worries. Right. So like, I'm looking at this guy. Right. And he's doing this. I know I'm about to cross his flight path. We're offset. We're on the rate. We can use this. Right. So maybe like if you're recognizing, if you're in this fight and you're recognizing this stuff, on this turn, maybe on the next one, you come around here in your circle at rate speed, and maybe when you get back to where you're right here, you bleed a little bit, and now you can get the guy on the nose, right? But sitting in this position, again, range, and I'm looking at this big silhouette, looking at the aspect I'm at, and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm in an offset 2 circle. I'm in a winning position right now at the point where our flight paths cross each other. So that means like on the next one, maybe I'll go for a more high aspect pass or risk a higher aspect pass to try and get a gunshot on this guy or even pressure him into making a mistake because he knows that gun's coming. That makes sense? We can, if I'm overwhelming you, in any way, you just raise your hand or something. I'm not here to throw a whole bunch of stuff at you and make you feel like you're doing bad or something. That is not the design, of this session, right? It's just to help you out, get a base understanding of things. But here, all right, we'll go back down the line here. All right, Sonny, you're up. Let's say, we'll throw this one at you here. Excellent. All right. Ooh, you know what? This be a good one. Right, like there. All right, this is you. You're in your plane. This is what you got, right? What's the first? What is one variable that you can see from here? That's your opponent right up there.
He is pretty high, and his lift vector is directly below down here.
Okay, so it's on you, right?
Yeah, it's on me.
All right. What about aspect? Like if he's more or less sitting over your canopy right now, right?
Yeah, he has, I have to guess, a low aspect. Because it's depending, if I'm low to the ground and he's facing like that, and he's going to try to do the dive like that, in my opinion, that's a low aspect. He can't like pull into a dive and straight into the ground. But in the other aspect, if we're high altitude, then and same vision, it is a high aspect, and we'll do a vertical 2 circle.
Okay, no, I'd agree with that last part, right? You are in a vertical 2 circle, right? Unless you're horizontal and you're just in this super like aggressive bank, right? And just unprompted there, you actually get a great example of overthinking, right? You did everything you named was good, right? But a lot of it can be integrated together, right? That's the purpose of today. So first, lift vector placement, right? You're absolutely right. He is pointing directly at you, right? And just from where he's sitting, or at least from where he's sitting in your cockpit, right? He's sitting more or less like at the top and more towards the center, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no. So he's probably sitting across. Like if you were to align your circles up, he'd probably be all the way across the circle from you, right? Like in a more neutral position. Okay, cool. And then this aspect, right? Or that silhouette. You see this nice big wide silhouette, right? Aspect's pretty like medium to lowish, all fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So just there, just on that, we've established that we've got a little bit of offset, right? He's pretty close, right? Because he's sitting just above your canopy. Aspects pretty neutral, like pretty low to medium, and we know he's across the circle. Like all this, we've just now established that we are now in a neutral offset vertical 2, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, that's it. Like, you just look at the minimum amount of variables that you can, and be able to blend every other one of them into it together, if that makes sense, right? Like right here, I'd be looking at his range because I already know I'm already like automatically, I'm not even worried about aspect right now, right? Like I'm still taking it into account, but I'm not worried about it. I see a big silhouette that looks like it was stamped onto a piece of paper, right? I know he's across the circle. He's not a threat to me. The same thing, I'm not a threat to him right now. I'm more so measuring. I'd be more so measuring like the range, and whether or not. Honestly, that's really it. Just the range and his lift vector placement, and just with those two, I can get every other piece of information I need. That makes sense.
I see it. Yes.
Yep. Now, but then, right? If I took this though, and I did, oh, geez. I think it's this way. Okay, yeah, this way. Now, if I took this, and I just flipped it around, right? Oh, sorry. Let me this out just forward a little bit more. I'm trying to get it to the same, more or less the same exact spot. I think that's right about now. Now, if I flipped it like this, right, changes it up a little bit, right?
Yes.
He's still really close, right?
Really close indeed. And in this scenario, either you can try to slow down and force it into a 2 circle, or a different scenario, he'll continue diving down to get some speed, and if I try to follow, he'll get some speed and get away from me and come back around, and I have less of a speed and will get me.
Maybe. Which direction is his nose pointing at? Now remember, the front of your chair, that's where your nose is pointing.
Facing directly in front of me.
Oh, right. So if it's pointing the same way and this guy's turning into you and he's trying to shoot you, where's that nose very rapidly going to start pointing at if he's above you like this?
Facing downward towards the ground. Towards
right.
me.
And that's the big one, towards you, right? I look at this at least from the perspective of the blue guy, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm above the other person right now. I'm nose to nose. Range is already really close. Like honestly, I would in this guy's scenario, like in this guy, depending on what plane I'm in, I'd probably cut a little bit of throttle to try and create more closure, and I'd be pulling in, creating higher aspect and everything else, right?
Right.
That's what I mean. Is like I'm recognizing, oh, lift vector placement, cool. His nose position, oh, nose to nose right now, and he's above me. He's probably going to yank in, right? I'll yank in with him too, because if I'm faster, right, small lift vector displacement to the left or to the right of him, so he doesn't just pull straight into me, go over him and go into the roller from there, right?
Right.
Yeah, now that makes sense. I also encourage everybody, if you have questions throughout any of these examples, do speak up. Right, like even though I'm going individually one by one, do pay attention to these because I'm hitting all of you with different ones, right? Variables change, and it's like, oh, if I just looked at this or this, right, I get this information, like all this information in conjunction with these two things I was looking for. And see, because then he pulls in, aspect increases. What else increases?
His speed. His
energy. Yeah, unless he slams on the brakes. But I was going to say closure. If you're nose to nose like that, and he's pulling into you, he's going to close that distance between you and him very, very quickly. And you're already pretty close in range.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. All right, here we'll go to copper next. All right, here we'll do.
Jen has a question.
In that situation, couldn't you force an overshoot? Yes, you could. The other guy could too. Because here's the thing, right? Is like if this guy's up here, if he's already got an energy potential, I'm speaking from like what I would do, right? Even if we're both already slow, right? Like we'll say, Sonny's down there on the deck, I'm up here. if I know he's pulling in, he's cutting his burner, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to keep my lift vector on him. I'm going to keep my eyes on him. I'm going to cut as much throttle as I can and just let that nose sink down on top of him because I have energy potential. I have altitude. I have a little bit of room to fall. Whereas if he's down here and he's on the deck, I'm like, oh, he can't go down anymore. He can't create that separation because the water or the ground is going to stop him, right? It's not there. It's not available, right? What's another word for that? Some room that we can take advantage of that our opponent otherwise couldn't in specific situations?
Exclusive.
Anybody? Exclusive, exactly, right? I have that room to work with that he does not, right? And even if he comes up, right, I'm already starting up just a little bit higher. I know he's going to cross my nose. If he speeds up, cool. He's going to be gaining energy at the cost of giving up nose position. Whereas if he wants to keep nose position, he's going to have to give up his energy, right? You can't have your cake and eat it. Unless you've completely outrated the other guy and you're sitting behind him, then I guess you can hold on to energy and have nose position, but you got to work for that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that help out as well, Sonny?
Yeah, I think I can picture it.
All right, here. All right, Copper. It's your turn. Oh boy, pressure's on now. Are you ready?
Uh-huh. Oh boy.
We'll go. Oh, here. You know what? We'll go. There we go. I haven't given people some range yet. How about? Oh, yes. This. Okay, perfect. This right here. All right, your opponent. What is the very first thing that you see that with that guy?
He's still quite a ways away.
He's way the fuck over there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of range.
He is turning into me.
Okay. Good. How do you recognize that he's turning into you?
Well, one, I can see his wings. I can see his I can see his tail.
Oh, okay.
No,
that is actually a very important thing, right? Yeah, no, his tail's pointing more at you than his nose is, isn't it? Isn't it? Is it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
tail
what you said.
pointing at? Oh, is more of his tail pointing at you right now, or is more of his nose pointing at you right now?
Is pointing at me. I can't quite tell from this distance.
Okay, here, hold on. I'll here, hold on. Give me this red. We'll put this in. There we go. That's his burner.
Okay, the fact that I can see his burner tells me that his tail's more towards me.
Yeah, I know, right? So he is turning towards you, right? His lift vector is pointing in at you right now, right? It's pointing that way. And he's got all this range to work with, right?
Yep.
Do you think that maybe he's going to get his nose around, like before you get to him, is his nose going to get around that circle?
Definitely. Depending on what aircraft he's in.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a possibility, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of your options here? What are some options you could think of from here? Because there's two big ones that I can think right off the bat. It's something that we haven't, that like no one else has really had the chance to talk about yet, right? This is why I'm giving you all each specific scenarios, right? Because we recognize that we're kind of behind the guy, but there's a lot of range.
There's a lot of range. So I could kind of just like try to keep it more one circle, try to stay behind him.
You'd stay behind him in the one circle?
Yeah. No, that's not what I mean, but fucking like if he's turning this way. Okay, hold on. Fuck, I know what I want to do. I just
this is exactly why going over this stuff today, right? Because you see these variables, right? You're in a winning position right now, right? All you got to do is turn just a little bit. You got him on the nose, but you can fumble it. Like this stuff right here, when you're second guessing and you're doubting yourself, that's what's going to give this guy the edge.
I'm not doubting myself. I know what I want to do. I just suck at explaining shit.
Okay. Well, here. You know, there's the two options I'm thinking of, right, are your pursuit curves, right? Who here is familiar with what pursuit curves are? You know, BFM Basics, We'll review that really quick. I know you are optics. Minty, do you know what pursuit curves are?
No.
No? Okay. No, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about them, right? From this position, right, from where Copper is, there are 3 places he could try to turn his plane in relation to that guy. Number 1, he could try to turn behind him, right, towards his tail. That's lag pursuit, right? That's one pursuit curve. He could go directly to him, right? What would you guess that's called if you're going directly to the guy?
Are you talking to me?
Pursuit. Yeah.
Pure
No,
pursuit.
the other guy named it too. See that pure pursuit. See, you knew that, dude. You already knew that. You didn't even need me.
Yeah,
All right, and then you could turn out in front of him, right? And if I'm turning out in front of him, that's what pursuit curve? Risen.
Maybe a lead pursuit.
Lead, exactly,
Yeah.
right? Lead, right? But each of these are going to have a different effect, right? Even though you're sitting behind this guy with all this range, if you go out in front of him, right, he's got enough room, he can pull his nose on, high aspect pass, cool, you've just reset the fight with him, right?
Yeah.
You could go to pure, which is fine. You'll still have your nose on first, more than likely, at least with this range and at this aspect, right? You'll still maintain like a winning position because this guy he doesn't quite have enough room to make that turn to get his nose onto yours, right? But it still gives him options because you're probably going to get a high aspect pass, or you go to lag and follow him for a second. Now, which of these curves do you think is the best choice in this scenario?
Probably lag. That's kind of what I want to do here.
Well, would you be surprised if I told you there really isn't a wrong answer here?
I mean, true. It really comes down to the pilot's preferences. But...
Well, yeah, pilot preference, but also comes down to your plane. Like if you're in a MiG, I don't know, man. I kind of want to take this guy in a 1 circle, so maybe I'll go to pure, close the range, make aspect really high, force him into a tighter, closer range 1 circle, right? But before I can do that, without threatening that guy's nose getting onto me, I have to close all this range down with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm in something like another F-16, maybe I will go to lag just for a little bit, right? Stay behind him, wait to close down some of this range. Maybe as time passes, he comes through, right? And then instead of you being over here, now you're up here. Now, aspect and everything else has changed. Now it's like, oh, now I'm going to go to pure and follow him in, right? Maintain my offensive position, right? All these small things. But I honestly think you nailed, recognizing the cues that got you the most information the first time, right? His far silhouette, right? When he was way out here, being far, right? There's a lot of range, and his lift vector placement and more or less, general position in the fight, just off the bat, right? Yeah, you're doing fantastic, by the way. But no, that is one specific example, though, of a scenario where it's like, oh man, I got this. This is what I'm seeing, and I have all these options. What should I do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, optics. Optics, you're next. Oh, I fucking let go of it. All right, optics. Ooh. You know what?
Oh no.
I got a good for you. What about this? Oh, buddy. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Okay.
Well, I noticed that we're pretty close, and he's facing, or his lift vector is facing away from me.
He's facing away from you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, his lift vector is facing away from you, right?
Yep.
Man, if I saw this much belly, the aircraft, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yummy.
What do you think? What do you think you should do? How do you predict this fight is going to go? Just from looking at that.
Done.
Me personally, I think the fight's just over right here.
Right here. Okay.
Got a perfect game solution on him.
No, look, this is something that you see a lot of, at least newer people, right? They try to pre-turn when I say newer people that are getting incorporated into BFM, they'll try to do some wacky stuff to throw you off, or something that their friend told them about, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's genius," right? Because it works on them. Like this dude right here is hitting a pretty nasty pre-turn. Like he's out front, he's pretty close, but he's out front, and he's already all the way through this turn, right? There, you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll just do this. Let me add his flight path really quick, right? It'll look a little something like this, right? Roughly, give or take. Now, if this guy is right there, right, and we'll just say that you turn with him, right? This is the nose of your aircraft, and you go the same direction as him. Oh man, what is that? What kind of what is that? What do you have right off the bat?
He gave us exclusive turning room.
Exclusive turning room. Exactly. Again, what's exclusive turning room? For those that were paying attention. CD, it's turning room that you can use and the other guy can't. Man, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, dude, like exactly. Like if I'm looking at this guy, even if you don't shoot him right here, right, you could go into the 2 with this guy. You could. But if I'm seeing this, right, like his lift vector's off me, we're very close, and he's really just turning as hard as he can right here. Yeah, no, same thing. I'm turning into that guy. He gave you so much room to work with. Like I don't even care what plane he's in. I could be, in the F-14 lobby. He could be in a Sukhoi. I'm turning one circle with him immediately, every single time.
Yep.
Good. Right, and again, that's off of just two variables.
The funny thing about this as well is it's called a Caesarean lead turn because the Syrian pilots kept doing it in almost every dogfight they did. So even real life fighter pilots kept doing this. It's a mistake that almost everyone makes. To the point that real life, like a real life military, this is called a Caesarean lead turn because pilots in real life made this mistake so often, which is quite hilarious.
Wow. History repeats itself.
Don't make this mistake. It always repeats itself. It's all circles like dogfighting. Anyway, continue, CD. Sorry.
It's all
No,
just
it's good. It's
circles.
good stuff. All right, Mochi, you're next. You are next.
Okay.
I hope you're ready.
Oh my god, they
Things
speak.
look 2D. Thing looks 2D from here.
Yeah, well, that's just because it's one solid
I know
material.
it's a solid color. It's like
You
messing with
should
my
at least be a
eyes.
little
You should
bit
buy
textured,
these
like, come
SXDs
on.
from my booth.
That's
Maybe
right,
like
right.
color the
Where's the
pocket
shadows?
black so you could see,
I know.
All right, here. We'll go ahead. We'll hit you with.
We're just putting F-16 on a stick and a MiG-29 on a stick.
We'll hit you with this. We'll hit you with this.
Oh, and please do give me a hypothetical. I want to challenge myself here.
No, that's fine. I mean, these are all hypothetical. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All right, here you are. You're in your plane. There's your opponent. What are a couple of things you can see from this guy?
His LVP is pointed more towards me, so he could be trying to turn up towards me.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's definitely turning towards you.
100%. I mean, we do have quite a, maybe I would say mid-range, maybe not far range, but about mid-range because you can still see his wings pretty well.
All right.
Then again, I am on a 2D screen, so
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like what you're saying is true.
Left.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I mean, honestly, if he's turning towards me, I think I try to turn away from him.
Turn away?
Or no, give me, please. I'm trying to visualize the flight paths real quick in my head.
Well, here,
So
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Okay, go kitty. I have a cat with me. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Oh, that's his. Okay.
Right, like he's more or
Okay,
less.
I was visualizing it much wider, much wider.
Well, I mean, it probably is wide. It probably is wider, but this is if he just continued his turn. This is where it would be.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, I mean, the
By
drawing
a way,
isn't
I
that.
did mean. Yeah, by a way,
Drawing
I
isn't
did
that
mean
great.
like sort of in this direction, where my head is looking, because if he was going wider, I'm not very confident in my abilities to get him nose to nose, so I would try to deny him my like the getting me nose to nose.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. Like, right from this seat, your nose is already pointing this way. You're already flying this way, and you,
Okay.
like you said, there's a little bit of range between them, right? At this range, do you think you wouldn't be able to get him nose to nose? I think you would.
Knowing me, I'd probably find a way to fuck it up.
Hey, man, no, it's a couple degree turn to your left. You would 100%
No,
get it right.
I know that, and yet sometimes I even manage to fuck up the simplest things. But no, if that's where my plane is going, then I
That's
guess the
just where your
best
nose is pointing.
decision, the best decision would be to, I guess, try to get him nose to nose. However, I'm not confident, so I try to play it more cautious.
Well, okay. I mean, I'd ask, like, how would you play this more cautious? 'Cause I don't really see a way that you could.
You don't?
Oh, no. Like, look at this, right? This guy's turning into you right now. He's got a bit of range between you and him, and you're already pointing at him. Honestly, I think that, like, if you try to play this more cautious, right, by turning away from him anyway, you're going to give him a free shot at you, right? In this scenario, I'd honestly say, best case, point your nose at him, threaten him, right? If you know he's going to be able to shoot at you, it's way better to be able to shoot back. Like, I would 100% rather be able to return fire than, not return fire.
I see the flaws in my logic.
No, it's okay. Like, that's what this stuff is for.
Yeah, I'd roll into him. Yeah.
Yeah, and like again, I've said it before. You'd rather be what than defensive. Like, everyone's trying to get offensive. I mean, yeah, everyone wants to be offensive, but I'd rather be what than defensive.
I'm gonna offend him.
Neutral, exactly. Right? Because if you're fighting on neutral terms, then you have an equal chance at each other.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want to be offensive, so that way the ball in your park and whatnot. But if I can't be offensive, I would rather be neutral. 100%. Right? You got that just from looking at a silhouette, looking at aspect. Right? It's like, oh man, we're gonna get nose to nose. Right? You don't kill each other. If one of you doesn't kill the other on the head on, it's definitely.
I didn't even take into account aspect. I was just like, okay, I'm visualizing his flight path. I visualized it wider than what you made it. And I knew he was gonna get my nose just because of where his LVP was and what his flight path could be.
Yeah, no, exactly, right.
Also,
you take in those two variables, you get all that information just from those two.
Whenever I hear the word offensive, I keep thinking vicious mockery. I don't know why.
All right, yeah, fair enough. All right, Minty, it's your turn. I'm gonna hit you with something. I'm gonna hit you with something that I haven't hit the others with just yet. Okay, if I can just figure out how I want to know, not that. Roll, please.
Do you need help?
Oh, we're almost there.
I might. Hang on, I'll figure it out here. How do I fucking? I had it before. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. All right, something kind of like this.
Thank you.
All right, now we're coming out here, right? Oh, see that? change something a bit, right? Most of these examples have been either up above or out front. All right,
Yeah.
Minty, you're sitting here. There's the guy. He's trying to eat, and he's fighting you. He's trying to kill you. What do you see?
And my path is straight at first, right?
Yep. So just imagine this is where your nose is pointing right now, right? Like
Okay.
you can be in a turn. You're not necessarily flying straight. This is just the direction that you're pointing right now,
Yeah.
right? In that
Yeah.
one moment in time and space.
So he's probably gonna come try to go in a kind of like a turn right here because he's gonna kind of expect me to either go up or just follow his path going to the left, you know? So I would try to, yeah, just like that. So I would kind of go almost in his path to try to get behind him. But if I can't do that, he's probably gonna either be going up in the air and kind of switching that circle around, you know? So then I'll kind of just try to get on his tail the whole entire time, you know?
All right. I mean, not quite a variable, but I mean, at least you're planning, right? What's when you're looking at this plane, what is something you can see from the plane itself? Like, here, tell me about his silhouette first. Is it really wide? Can you see a lot of details on it, or does it look like it's kind of slim?
What do you mean? Like I can tell that he's about to start going left.
Well, just look at it. Look at it. Does it look like somebody drew the outline of a plane, on a piece of paper, or does it look like it's kind of at an angle?
It looks like it's at an angle.
Okay, good. Okay, that's the first thing, right? So it's kind of slimmer, right?
Yeah.
Can you see where his nose is pointing?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's it pointing at?
This way.
That way, right? It's pointing more towards you, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think that means?
He's
got a slimmer pro.
He's trying to get me. He's trying to shoot down.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, he's always trying to get you. But
yeah,
we're talking about position in the fight right now, right? This is to help you not get got. This is so you don't get got in the fight. I'd say, right? We're looking at this. He's pretty close, right? Like we got a little bit of range. He's kind of far.
Yeah.
But his nose is starting to point at us, isn't it?
What is it?
Yeah.
So we'd say he's winning the fight right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would 100% agree. He's winning the fight at this moment, right? But also, look at where he's at. Is he above you? Is he next to you? Or is he below you?
He's next to me.
Next to you?
Yeah.
Well, tell me, are you looking down to look at him? Are you just looking straight, or are you looking up?
Oh, I'm looking down.
Yeah, you're looking down at him, right? So where do you think he is?
Below me.
Below you. What does that tell you, right? You're higher than that guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little bit of extra energy to work with.
Yeah.
Right. So like right there, we've established, that you've got a little bit of energy potential over the guy. You are losing, but you have a little bit of range to work with, right? Options for you, at least in this one, I'd say exert right here. At this moment, I would be exerting. Try to take right here. Let me grab this one. Right, because your nose is pointing right here. This is more or less your flight path. Right, more or less, I say, as I very crudely draw that. Right, I would exert right here, where you're at right now, just because you have a little bit of altitude to work with, right? You can trade that altitude for airspeed. Take this big gap, right, this offset, and make it slimmer, right? Increase your aspects, increase closure. That way you can start redefining on this guy.
Yeah.
Right, and you can get all that just because it's like, oh, hey, I'm looking down at the guy, right? I have to look down at the guy. He's below me. I have a little bit more potential energy than him, right? But his nose is pointing at me, and I got a little bit of room. Let's cut in right here. Let's get closer to him so we can maybe get a reversal off on the guy. Turn this fight around. Go from defensive to neutral. It makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And again, if any of you have questions throughout this, please ask. Like, I know I'm throwing hypotheticals at you and being like, yeah, in this scenario you can do this and you can probably win, right? But that's not the case in an actual fight because things are always changing, right? Always. These are just scenarios, just to kind of get you thinking, be like, oh, maybe usually I overthink this and this in a fight, right? But then, you get the idea being, oh, you come out of this and it's like, oh, if I see these two variables in a fight, that means this, and this are also all happening, right? It's to optimize and reduce your OODA loop time, right? Help you make choices faster in the moment. Open your mind. Sorry, I'm going around and deleting all these flight paths. Alrighty. Let's see here. Anybody else? Risen, would you go ahead? We'll give you the last scenario. How about that? Sound good? All right, sick. All right, what do I want to hit you with? Oh, you know what? I got a great idea here. Yeah, there we go. Bada bing. Give you something kind of perfect. Here we go. Something kind of like this.
Oh, that's
actually
easy.
Actually more like this.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So obviously the vector's facing towards me, so he's gonna be trying to turn in towards me.
All right, cool. He's turning towards you.
Yeah. So I have not much room, but a lot of room. That to me, I actually know I have a lot of room to work with. What I would do is I would immediately pull up. I would throttle. I mean, well, you know what? Let me see. I would my reaction to this would be I would pull back on the stick. I would try to get my nose in front of his, so that way it would kind of meet. I would say hello Fox 3 or Fox 2 and call it a good day.
No, that's valid. If you've got him to work with, what, that's valid, okay? But from a positional standpoint, yeah, no, you're recognizing everything, right?
Genuinely,
you got
though, if there's actually two options, though. I could do that, or I would either get behind him. But I mean, why would I whenever he's right there in front of me? That's it's easy right there.
Okay.
He definitely has altitude, but Oh, go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. Other things, right? So this is all assuming you're at the same energy states. Everybody's doing everything optimal, right? You could try to pull into him, but like you said, there's a lot of range, right? Do you think if he's holding on to his speed, that if you just try to yank your nose and shoot him, that he might outrun that nose?
Oh no, he's gonna shave his speed by turning into me. He's definitely shaving some speed.
Oh, again, we're always assuming that we're doing this optimally, right? We'll say he's holding on to his speed.
Okay.
Right. He's not yanking. Okay. He's not yanking in. Right. He's flying around he is losing speed. He is losing speed going up, but not a lot. Right.
Then if he's
there
not
is a lot of range.
Then,
yeah, he's turning, just not.
Oh, he's
super
turning.
Tight.
Okay, and just not super tight. All right.
Right. He's holding on. He's within rate margins. We'll say that. Right. So I'd argue, yeah, no. If he's holding on to his energy. Right, always assume somebody's optimally performing their aircraft. Right, that if you just yanked in right here, he's got enough room that he's just gonna outrun that nose, and the next thing you know, you're the one that's stuck nose up, really slow, while he comes back around on the other side of the circle. Right. So I mean, that is one thing you could try if you can get it. Awesome.
I do run. I will say I do run at around 80 or 90%. Throttle usually at all times, and flight limiter is always off. And flight limiter is always off, and then I have it afterburner.
we gotta fix that, dude. You should be running 100% every single time.
I don't.
Afterburner.
Listen, it saves fuel, and also on top of that, whenever I want to do an afterburner, whenever I want to do a roll. Easy money, bro. Easy money. All I gotta do is just turn off.
The thing is though, it's if you're not performing your aircraft to its maximum performance, that guy, right? It does hold on to more fuel, but if it only takes one turn for that guy to get around the circle and shoot you, well then you have zero fuel because you don't got a plane, right? And then that guy's like, oh cool, I still have 7 minutes of fuel because he only had to spend 3 seconds fighting you.
Okay, all right, I feel you.
Yeah, no. Look, man. It's all about reducing your time to kill, but also increasing that guy's time to kill at the same time, right?
Okay.
If you're not performing your aircraft to the max, then it's going to be a very easy day for him. Honestly, in this scenario, right? So you establish, he's pretty far, pretty low aspect, right? Like Arnaud's pointing at him, like it's a pretty good position to be in, right? I'd honestly say, right? John Madden, rather than going, up here in front of his nose trying to shoot him, follow just behind him, right? Because like at this aspect, right, we're definitely, if we're sitting on top of his aircraft like this and our nose is pointing at him, we're going to overshoot his flight path, right? It's going to happen, right? So what I'd like to do is follow through here, just a little bit of extra speed. You overshoot him right here, go up over the top, and then when you're coming back down on the other side, right? Like if you're both flying optimally, you're going to eventually see this exact picture again or something extremely similar. But if you hold on to it, right, you come up over the next turn, and then you start coming down, and you hit optimal, you can start pulling in halfway down the turn. And then when you get, to the spot you're at now, where you're at the bottom of the circle, instead of being here, now maybe the guy is there instead. Is that more in front of you? Would you say that your HUD, this guy's going to be in your HUD, right, with your gun pipper sitting on him?
Well, he would technically shave the top of it for me, but yeah,
all right. Well, think about it. Think about it. He was sitting right up. He was just sitting up here in that last turn between those two X's.
It is more better. Yes, it is more better.
Exactly.
Level with me. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're
right.
talking about.
Like you looked at just a couple of variables, right? Like just from that, a couple of variables in the last turn to get to the next turn's position.
Right.
That makes sense to everybody.
Yes.
Throttle back. Okay, I see what you're saying. Heck yeah.
And I do really hope that this stuff is making sense, and I hope it helps out. I know, like sometimes, like I'm throwing a bunch of hypotheticals at you, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can never really teach from a hypothetical, because things are always changing, and it's like, oh, I'll always tell you that in my scenario, whatever I say, whatever I say is going to make you win the fight. That is not the case at all. Anybody, who teaches it like that is, I'm sorry, wrong. Right? The only reason I'm throwing it at you here, it's like, oh, hey man, when you're looking for variables in a fight, you can look at 1 to 2 of those and get and immediately and automatically know the information for all the other variables you take into account for. Right? It's like, oh, his nose is on me. Cool. We're at high aspect. That means there's high closure. Range is going to decrease. We're probably going to, merge with each other. We're going to overshoot with one another. Now I can take the fight in any type of fight I want because we just passed by one another. Or, oh, he just lead turned me. So now I'm going to turn into him and shoot him right off the rip. Right? Or, hey, this guy, he's right above my canopy and we're nose to nose. He's going to yank into me if he's trying to kill me. Right? So it's like a couple of things just like that. It's not meant to tell you if you do this and this in this scenario, you'll win. It's meant to, again, just be more optimal in taking in information. Everybody think they can do that just a little bit easier after today?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I sure hope that is the case. But I would highly recommend putting it into practice. Right? We're not going to do a fight session today. Again, just basics. I know a lot of you guys are probably looking forward to that, right? I would highly encourage you go run merges, in a lobby. If I had to suggest any world, I would definitely say Highland Air Base. But before going, I would also encourage some of you newer guys, take a walk around the walls. Starting over there where you spawn, if you go from one panel to another, all of these panels, right? That's all Benjamin's his manual, right? Which kind of condensed information and everything. Very good place to start, right? It goes over all the things that we talked about today. It'll help you recognize all this stuff. And then hopefully when you go out and practice it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. You got all the baseline information. You went around, read the panels, and now it's like, oh, cool. Now I'm in this fight with, like, Troy's fighting LT Copper. Troy's like, oh, hey, Copper's got his nose on me, but I'm above him. I've got some energy to work with. I can pull in, get nose to nose, and we'll go into this fight. You know what I mean? Tie it all together. tie it all together. As always, if you guys have questions, comments, or anything, let us know, in the Discord or here or whatever, right? We'll help you out as best we can.
Mm-hmm.